He says he's got a 4-bedroom house on a lake up in Michigan. But this is not that big a country. I got 300 people on my staff. I've got all kinds of investigators and all. And so I sent somebody up to Michigan. We had the address. We sent somebody up there. I wasn't going to just use that. We sent somebody up there. She says her boyfriend gave her the address of a neighbor who lives next door to him and looks after his property when he's out of town. Here's what the producer discovered.
This is the address in Michigan that was given to the Dr. Phil Show. David Chris Jr. has said that his friend Amy lives here. Now, Amy allegedly takes care of David's 4-bedroom home when he's not here. The home is supposedly right next to this address. We're going to take a look and see if we can find Amy or anyone who might know David Chris Jr. Hey, we're with the Dr. Phil Show. We're looking for Amy.
The Dr. Phil, Amy's not here.
There's no Amy at this address? What about David Chris Jr.?
No.
You don't know David Chris Jr.? Here, this is a picture of him. Do you know him?
No.
How are you?
We're looking for Amy or David Chris Jr., this man.
Don't know any of them.
Are you Amy?
No, I'm not.
Do you know Amy?
I do not know any Amy.
Do you know David Chris Jr.?
No, never heard of that name.
Hi, we're looking for Amy.
Not here.
She doesn't live here.
No.
David Chris Jr., do you know David Chris Jr.? David Chris Jr. says he owns a home right next door to the apartment complex that we just visited. We came over here to the other side of the apartment complex. Same thing, no 4-bedroom home. We even looked across the street and down the street. It doesn't look like there are any homes here at all.
Okay, so here's the thing. We had an address to verify. There is no house at that address. The entire thing is a fiction. There's no 4-bedroom house at that address. There's no woman that lives next door to a house at that address. There's an apartment building there. We knocked on all the doors. There's not even anybody there she's not there. Nobody even knows her. Nobody's ever heard of her, heard of him, and that house doesn't exist. There isn't even a house of that description on that street in any direction on either side of the street for blocks. I actually got a map to look at the distance between the address from that address to the nearest lake, and it's 1.9 miles away. Because he said it was on a lake. Well, you'd have to drive 2 miles.
He did not tell me it was on a lake. I assumed it was close to a lake. And he did not tell me it was a mansion.
Yeah.
I did not say those
She
things.
had to have a clue. She had to have a clue that this house did not exist because I've searched property records for her before and found nothing on him in Michigan.
Yeah, well, you see, we went up there, we walked on where that address would be. There is no house there. There is no house next door. There is no woman who lives next door. And it is a 2-mile drive to the nearest lake.